Hello, everybody. I believe we are live. Yeah, we are live. Welcome, everybody. Happy to be here again, and welcome to the next session of PrestaShop Project Live Update. This is our session number 6. We are on June edition already, and as always, we prepared for you some news and demos related to the PrestaShop project. My name is Christian Podemski. I work as the tech evangelist for the PrestaShop project, and I'm also one of the project's maintainers, and I am your host for today. And today I have with me Iba, who is our QA analyst engineer in PrestaShop. I have also Fabien Vallon, who is our lead product manager at PrestaShop. And last but not least, we have a pleasure for the first time to see Boris with us today. Boris, who is core developer at PrestaShop and who recently was welcomed as the committer in the PrestaShop project. And they all prepared for some amazing demos for you today. But first things first, let's take a look at today's agenda. I will introduce you to the event rules. I will also present some project news. And then we will have 3 demos for today. First of all, Iba will present how we manage or how QA team is managing issues in PrestaShop project. So whether you report a bug or you work on some project, how the issues are managed by the team. Then we will have Fabien presenting some news regarding the plans that are around PrestaShop 9. And last but not least, we will have an update on work around PrestaShop 9 from Boris, who will speak more about some ongoing work for the next major version of PrestaShop, some of the breaking changes that are occur already, or some improvements that you can anticipate in the next versions. So let's start with the and I forgot about one thing. At the end of the live update, we will have Q&A session, and as always, if you have any questions, just ask on chat. So let's start with event rules. Yeah, use chat to ask questions. Remember that we do have some little delay that there's between what we see and what you see. The event is about the PrestaShop open source project, so we don't discuss PrestaShop company stuff there. This event is public and is being recorded, so remember that the video of the live update will be shared later on YouTube. And last but not least, just be nice to each other and abide by the code of conduct of our project. And now I will present you with some project news, and we start big with the great news about the first ever PrestaShop Developer Conference that will happen at the end of November this year in Paris. So if you want to meet with some peers that work with PrestaShop, with some developers, with project members, it's a great occasion to visit Paris at the end of November and meet with us. If you are French speaking person or English speaking person, we will get you covered. There will be talks in both French and English. And if you are motivated to present something to our community, feel free to visit the PrestaShop conference, PrestaShop Developers Conference website to submit call for papers, to submit your talk proposal. So maybe we will see you presenting on the next PrestaShop Developer Conference to our community of developers. I'm sharing the link to more information about the conference right now on the chat. So feel free to see the website of the conference later. And we are very happy to have the first ever conference for developers, technical talks, talks about how to navigate through the code base of PrestaShop, how to create new features, how to work better with modules, and so on and so forth. It all sounds really, really optimistic, really, really amazing. So we can't wait to see you there. And the next news is also quite huge because the first and last actually minor version for PrestaShop 8 will be released next week. It will be released probably on Monday if everything goes well. So be prepared for tests of PrestaShop 8.1 next week. As always, we are going to share all the news on our build blog, on all the other social channels that we use. You will have a chance also to discover the landing page summarizing on all the new features of PrestaShop 8.1. So we are very close to the minor version, first bigger update for the PrestaShop 8.1. And let me tell you one thing, it's maybe a minor version, but there are some major upgrades under the hood. So we are very excited for this upgrade. So, all right, I see the comment from Jonathan to be prepared to test on a final release. Yeah. Well, if you install even the final release, you are using it, and at the same time you are testing it. So yeah, actually you are testing it, and I hope I'm pretty sure of it that there will be some bugs and so on and so forth. So it's part of the process of creating the software. It is how it is. So I think we can move forward to the first demo of today's live update. I will invite Iba on stage, and I will have her presenting the issue management for the project. Hello, Iba.
Hello everyone. Well, let me share my screen. Here is it. I believe everyone can see my screen, isn't it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Right now, yes,
Now it's
you
good?
are ready to go.
All right.
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
Okay, enjoy.
Great. Thank you. Well, good evening everyone. Today I'm going to present the issue management, or to be specific, how to treat issues. So as usual, we begin with the demo planning. At first, we're going to see what does mean the issue management and what requires in the intro. Then, what are they the different type of issue and labels that we use, followed by the daily process of issue manager. Finally, we're going to discover the secret of issue management in the conclusion. Well, the intro. So the question is, as an issue manager, what I have to do? Let's make it simple. You need just to qualify the issue which are submitted in GitHub project by the contributor. Another question will pop up. Why we use issues? Because good issues can help us discover bugs and provide idea to improve PrestaShop, and of course, the native model. So, to qualify these issues, you need to ask yourself three questions as an issue manager. Is the issue valid? Means the issue must be either a bug report or request for improvement. We only cover PrestaShop project core and native model. Has the all needed information been provided? The issue must be understandable and contain the required information as provided in the issue template, complemented with any other detail needed for reproduction. Can it be reproduced? An issue can't be fixed if we can't reproduce it, and that's normal. So move to issue types. Before explaining the labels and the process, we need to know what issue types we use right now, because the workflow has been changed multiple times. Well, we have four types of issues. The bug first, the best known bug. The bug is software defected, an error. A feature, well, a feature is a new functionality proposed by contributor or maintainer. And as you may have noticed, we have moved each feature to the new tab discussion, so you can vote on it and then the product manager can approve it or validate it. The task is a newly created issue type. The task is dedicated to the development team created by tech lead, scrum master, or product manager. An epic is a checklist where we gather all the bugs and not regression, because regression we put it in the maxi Kanban, feature and task categorized by the same topic. It may look a little bit confused, but let's cover the label and the use of it for each one of those. So for the labels, we're going to check each type of issue, which label we should use, and which workflow we should use. Well, let's begin with the bug. When you create a bug report, you will notice that those two labels will be added automatically, bug, and new. After posting your issue, the issue manager will check if your bug report is valid or no. If it's not valid, he's going to put the message not valid, put the label, remove the label new, and close your issue. If it's valid, means like you respect the template provided, he is going to check if it is reproducible or not. At this stage, we need to add the version label. The category label means is depict the back office, front office, install, web service, or test, and the page section concerns. Then, if we cannot reproduce, we need to ask more information from the author, putting the label need more info plus waiting for author. You have the issue bot. Every time the author will be answered, he will remove the waiting for author, and then we will be notified that we have need more info to be treated. All right. If 3 up to 5 members of QA team cannot reproduce with all provided info, so we have to close the issue with the message cannot reproduce and remove the label need more info and put the label need invalid. After that, if the issue is too technical and too hard to reproduce for us as QA, so you're going to ask help for the dev team, putting the message too technical with the label TBR and waiting for dev. All right, then if we can reproduce it, we need to put the label verified, means like the QA team, the issue manager, can reproduce the issue. So we need to put the label verified and the severity. The severity, you already have 4 types of severity: trivial, minor, major, and critical. It's concern the impact of the bug on the functionality or on the software. Then we need to check if it is regression or no. If it's not regression, it means it's an old bug. If it is old bug, we need to check if it is duplicated, means it's already been reported on the GitHub. If it's duplicated, we need to close it with a message of duplicate and remove the label verified severity, need more info, and put the label duplicate plus label invalid. Then, if it's not duplicated, it means an old bug, but no one discovered it before, so we put the label need spec and put it in epic. Then, if it is regression, it's our happy day for the K team. We love finding regression. So we put the label regression plus the label ready and put it the maxi Kanban. And of course, we need to share it on the Slack, private and public, for the developer be concerned for the regression and treat it as soon as possible. That's for the book. Let's go for the feature. As I mentioned before, the feature has been removed to the discussion, but we needed to explain it for you how to use to treat the feature. So, first thing you do when you click on the button Create Issue as a feature, the feature label and the new label will be automatically assigned. As usual, we need to verify it is valid or not. If it's not valid, we remove the label new, put the label invalid, and close it. If it's valid, we need to check if it is understandable. And at this stage, like usual, we need to add the category label and the page section concerns. If it's not understandable, you need to ask more information from the author while putting the label need more info plus waiting for author. Then, if it is understandable, check if it is duplicated or no. If it is duplicated, close it with the duplicate message, label, remove the label need more info, put the label duplicate plus invalid. If it's not duplicated, then we need to check if it is technical feature, so we have to ping the developer team and put the label need spec. If it's not too technical, so we have to ping the product management and put the label waiting for PM plus need spec, and of course we need to add it in epic. Now, let's move to the task. The task is dedicated for the dev team, so the only persons can create the task is Scrum Master, Dev Tech Lead, and I believe Product Management. Well, black bug is task plus the label new. So the first thing, as usual, we check it is valid or no. Remove the new is not valid and put the label invalid. If it's valid, you need to remove the label new, put the category label plus the page section concerns. After that, if you need more information, ask for it, put the label need more info plus waiting for author. If it's crystal clear, then check it if it is duplicated. Is it duplicated? Close it with a message duplicate, label duplicate plus invalid. If it's not, you can put the label ready and put it in the maxi Kanban for the developer to treat it. If sometimes we have already pull request assigned to this task, so we need to add the work in progress label, not the ready, and assign it to maxi Kanban. Well, the epic is more easier. Put the epic label and the patch section label concerns your epic. Then gather all the bugs and the improvement and the task in the epic. Super simple. So let's talk about the process or our daily routine as issue manager. Well, first thing in the morning, you need to check as an issue manager the need more info which need to be treated. Means the author already answer your question or provide new info. Using this filter label, click on it, search for the need more info label and waiting for author. Then in the input of a filter, you need to add the minus before label waiting for author. Means the issue with the label need more info but without waiting for author. Here is the list of need more info to be treated as soon as possible. Shall we see an example? Let's go. Click it here. It seems the issue is about the Russian localization state error, and it seems about wording. So our QA manager, it's not QA manager, it's our QA member who is the issue manager, treated and being Liadine who is responsible for wording. So she answered the author and she fixed the problem. Just right here. Hello, let's bring the author. Seems your issue is fixed. So closing the issue. And why not using some emoji? Thanks. Now let's close it. It has been fixed. What you have to do is to remove the need more info and put the label fixed. That's it. Great. Now let's move forward. Then we need to close the issues without the author answer since 20 days or more than 20 days. Using this filter, click on label. There will be list displayed. Choose need more info, waiting for author as usual. Then click on sort and choose the least recently updated. Click on and enter. Here is the list of need more info filtered. As you can see, the first one has been not answered since 2 weeks ago. Well, we don't have the right to close it because we only have the right to close which one, the ones who has not been treated for more than 20 days, means 3 weeks ago. Well, let's have an example. I believe yesterday Florine has been treated one. Yes, indeed. All right. This issue has been treated with from the issue management 3 weeks ago, but the author doesn't answer. So here we can see our colleague Florine use the message automatically. Since we had no news from you, I will close this ticket to avoid cluttering up the backlog. Please note that you can always create a new one if further information pop up. So we remove the need more info, waiting for author, and add the label invalid. All right, then at least we have the new issues created. So we have to filter it using label, new, then click enter, and here is the list. As you can maybe notice, we have an issue with closed with the label new. So let me show it how to treat it. New closed issue. It seems the author has closed his own issues already then. So you just have to remove the label new, put the label invalid. It seems he fixed his own problem. And you need to make it out from here. That's it. About the new open issues. Who closed it? Team Ines already closed this issue. All right, then. Move forward the conclusion. Okay. So to conclude, the issue management is not a hard task. As beginner, you only need to understand the issue workflow, the labels, which one you need to use, and you need to respect the contributor while answering them and treating their issues. As an intermediate, you need to be fluent in English, a good speaker, and you have analytic skills. As a professional, you need to be a perfectionist, a human being, because you're not a robot. You need to be a human and need to, how to communicate with contributors and be patient. More patient needed in this job. Any question, please?
Thank you, Iba. I'm not sure if that's the easiest job on in the world. So first of all, thank you to you and entire QA team for titanic work on managing issues and labels. I know
Thank you.
that if I put the wrong label, you will ping me on Slack and correct me.
Yes. Yes,
So that's
indeed.
great.
I do that a lot of time.
Labels
Sorry.
are very important, and basically what
Yes.
you shown us is very it's one of the critical parts of the project to work for the work to go smoothly with all the issues that we have from contributors, from community, and so on. We
Yes,
do
indeed.
have a question from Frank.
Uh-huh.
If we have, do we have a link for the Maxi Kanban? And I believe Maxi Kanban is the private project to
Or yes, the
organize
contributor cannot
work.
see it.
Yeah.
Only
Basically, this
us can
Maxi
see it.
Kanban is a Kanban to organize the work inside the core team members. So there's no reason for it to be public, honestly.
Yes.
And I don't see any more questions related to issue management, but I'm pretty sure that there may be some at the end of the live update. So if there will be any questions, I will let you know, Iba, and I
Okay.
will invite you
Thank
to
you.
the stage again during the Q&A segment that we have at the end of the demo. So
Thank you,
thank you for your
Christian.
time,
You're
and I will
welcome.
now invite Fabien to present us news about the PrestaShop 9. Thank you, Iba, again. Hello, Fabien.
Hello, Christian.
How are you
Hello,
doing
Lisa.
today?
Fine, thank you.
All right. So I will let you present us more information about what the core team is planning to do in PrestaShop 9.
Yes, I will present you the roadmap for the version 9 and the initiative by the core team of PrestaShop. You can, of course, include your own initiative and own works because it's a open source project, of course. First of all, we are currently working on a framework. We already migrated to PHP 8.1 and 8.2 and Symfony 5.4. And it means we will drop PHP version lower than 8.1. We are thinking about support for Symfony 6.3 or 6.4, but we don't have a clear status right now. It depends on different priorities, but maybe. We already also updated some framework like API platform, mobile detect lib, and we also remove Swift mailer and replace it by Symfony mailer. Next, new API. We are currently developing a new API architecture based on API platform with a built-in OAuth server. It should be a module, so maybe we can release it with different life cycles than the core. And it will include an easy way to do the mapping between SecureRS and endpoints. And we also study how to use external OAuth server like Keycloak or Hydra if someone wants to develop this connector. For the MVP, maybe during this summer, maybe as a module. So before the release of the 9.0. For the MVP, we plan to have a built-in OAuth and a resource server. We plan to have an easy endpoint and security mapping, an easy way to do it, and some tutorials to easily implement endpoint and test for QA, for automatic test. Here we need you because we have a lot of endpoint to implement. It could take between 2 hours and 1 day to develop one endpoint. So if everyone in the community develop 4 or 5 or 10 endpoints, we could have a great coverage for the end of the year. What's next for this new API? We will define scope. Scope like something like you can find in Slack or something like in GitHub when you connect application to Slack or GitHub. It will be some kind the same way. We will develop or finish the UX UI to manage scope, application, to revoke access token and so on. And maybe, but not sure, a gateway to easily connect external server, for example, Keycloak. About the legacy layouts, and we have a lot of page already migrate in the center in the picture into the green line on the picture. A lot of page already migrate into Symfony, but the header, like profile, like the notification bell, and so on, and the menu are still on legacy code. So we want to stop to mix Smarty and Twig. We want a real context management by Symfony. We want to prepare a new feature, for example, for the menu, to have, for example, some bullet to have notification on it, a better notification system, and so on. And we also want to prepare authentication by Symfony, which is another work because it's still in legacy, the authentication part in PrestaShop. So maybe you want to prepare to migrate this part on Symfony technology to use more modern and more modular authentication part. We have some other ideas for the 9.0 and need to prioritize them. About the module management and the auto upgrade, we made a good discovery internally about upgrade and module management. And we list all the pain and the new feature on that, but we will try to organize a task force to crush some pain, to add some new feature, for example, dependency, new notification system, how to delegate download from other module management, how to have a better security with MD5 some integrity management or GPG check, and so on and so on. About Hummingbird, we will try to release the Hummingbird as a module, so maybe before the 9.0. We need to solve the problem of compatibility between different versions of Bootstrap, but it could be maybe released before the 9.0 and probably compatible with 8.1. About the front office, This is a big project, but we made a proof of concept to implement a Symfony container into the front office. I think it's a long way to have a clean architecture for the front office, but it's probably a good start. About the pricing, we are still studying how to solve the problem and remove the legacy part on how to have a better implementation of the pricing and a better documentation. And we have the time to implement a simple new pricing algorithm, but we are not sure yet, and it will be a feature flag anyway. And maybe we will try to finish the image management with the support of the new format for the front office, and to have a better implementation, also how to manage image in the back office. And that's it for me.
Hello, Fabien. Thank you, Fabien. Sorry. Hello again. So a lot of great projects incoming to V9. So the one exciting is for sure the API, and we are going to share some more details about it soon. Basically, the idea is to provide the community with the content, the documentation, and resources so they can help us with creating endpoints and basically to have the API sooner than later. So thank you for your presentation, Fabien. There is one question about Symfony container, but I will pass it to Boris, because the idea is for us to present not only the plans but also the progress on ongoing work, and it will be today mission for Boris. So thank you, Fabien.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right, I'm inviting Boris to the stream. Hello, Boris.
Hello, Christian. Hi, everyone. I'm pretty proud to be with you guys this afternoon. It's my first live update, so don't be too bad with me. But yeah.
No worries, Boris. So maybe I will start with the question. Yeah, the idea is to have the front office Symfony container, and as we know, there is already a Symfony container in PrestaShop. Could you elaborate on what does it mean to have the new one?
The new one is aimed to have all the feature on back office. In fact, we have already a front office container, legacy container, but we have not enough things on it. So we want to unify the back office and the front office, so it's better. And we have to implement we have to implement Symfony container on it. It's better. So yeah, we need to do this thing.
Yeah, this will be quite a huge breaking point for the front office of PrestaShop, to have the possibility of using full power of Symfony in front office. Okay, Boris, I will leave you on the stream so you can present the progress on the work that is going on around V9.
Okay, thank you. So let me introduce myself. So far, I'm Boris Amos. I work as a core developer since a few months in the PrestaShop team. And I will present you now some breaking change and improvements in PrestaShop 9. So let's jump in. First, some breaking change. Now we have trans and L functions doesn't escape special shards anymore by passing parameters. In fact, we do these things natively. It's by default. We're escaping special shards. It's a good practice to do. And for return compatibility, we can use underscore row parameters to don't escape if we want to, but it's not a good thing, as you know. Second thing, we use now presenters classes to display entities in the front office for store, category, manufacturer, supplier. To simplify some things for your themes, so it can be cool too. We have also a break and change on modules for Symfony-based module controllers. They must inherit framework bundle admin controller. It's time to use dependency injection in controllers without this get function that you can find in the previous version of PrestaShop. The get version is deprecated since we move on Symfony 5.4. So we need to use dependency injection to retrieve some services, repositories, and so on. Next, we drop SSL encryption support for mail sending. In fact, we move Swift Mailer to Symfony Mailer. So Symfony Mailer doesn't support anymore SSL. So we must drop SSL as well because SSL is outdated and shouldn't be used anymore. Instead of SSL, you can use still TLS and no encryption, of course. We are removing some unused Symfony libraries too, inflector, notifier, rate limiter, and so. But if you use them on your module, feel free to add them on your composer.json. It's work, but we are not used them anymore in the core, so we drop them. So yeah, you can use still, but you must declare them on your composer.json. Maybe this breaking change may change until the release of the version 9 of PrestaShop, but and many can add on this list. But yes, it's a summary, a little summary of what is going on actually. Next, we have some coding improvements. As you know, PrestaShop 9, the minimal requirements for PHP version on PrestaShop 9 is 8.1. So we can use some good things that improve coding style for PrestaShop. So first, we have constructor property promotions since PHP 8. We have also matched expressions. We have also onion type, null safe operator, named parameters, read-only properties, attributes, and a lot more. So I invite you to check the PHP website to know a lot of this new coding stuff are really cool. And I wanted to show you a little demo of this coding improvements by PrestaShop. So here we have a class that is called edit country handler. This class is a Securus command handler, so it's time to update a country and address by the back office. So here, as you can see, we have property here and the construct function. So here I wanted to simplify this, and with PHP 8, I can do this. So I already have a constructed function, but I will declare my property by the construct. So here, and it works. In fact, we don't have to declare before the construct in the class this property. Is pretty cool. And if we used as we used dependency injection on our handler, I can do this also. So if I want to use country repository, and for some reasons I want to use feature flags repository, I can do this too, and it's work. I can use feature flag repository everywhere on the handler and without declaring before the construct like we done older version of PHP. So it's pretty cool. And we have also a new keyword that's called read-only. And if I put the read-only here, I transfer this property into a property immutable. So it's pretty cool. If it's for security, in fact, but it's pretty cool too to use this with this construct way to declare some property. So next, I will present you a nice improvement that's called feature flags improvements. As you know, before we used database storage for feature flags. Now we had two more storage, in fact, instead of one. We have environment variables. It's read-only, of course. We had .env files too, and we have database like in the old version of PrestaShop. So we keep database base. It's pretty cool. We can now prioritize storage used for each feature flags. In fact, if we have in the type of the feature flag env, comma, .env, comma, database, if we cannot find environment variables for this feature flag, we try to know if a .env file is change the state of the feature flag, and if not, we can check on the database. It's pretty cool. And also we have a new thing on the back office and the CLI commands. We now display the storage currently in use, so it's pretty cool too. And we keep the possibility to enable or disable from the back office or the CLI commands. So only for .env and database storage, of course. So let's watch this demo. So here, So here I've got a fresh install of the PrestaShop version 9. I'm just logging in if you want. If you don't want to, I'm just refreshing. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so I'm in the back office and I go to the advanced parameters and new and experimental features. And now, as you can see, we have an information about the storage. So we have env.env and db available here. And as you can see, the db is in bold. So I know that is the database used for this state. For example, we'll use an environment variable. So I go simply on my virtual host here, and as you can see, I will simply set an environment variable with ps_ff for feature flag _ the name of the feature flag, and also a true or false, of course. I will say that, and I will restart my web server if you want to. Okay, so if I back to my back office, I will see here a little changement. And in fact, we are forcing by the environment variable, the way that multiple image formats are enabled. So it's pretty cool. And as I said earlier, feature flags by env is not mutable. So I cannot disable from this, but I can use .env as well. So for this, I just create a new file that's called .env on the root server, on the root of the project. And on this file, I will just type ps ff product page v2, and no, I will just disable it. And it works. Let's see on the back office. If I refresh, as you can see, we have .env that in bold, so it's the storage currently used, and we have here the state already is disabled. If I take enabled here and I save, automatically, sorry, it's changed. Also, the .env file is not on the database, so we change the content of this file, so it's pretty cool. We have also changed a little bit the feature flags list action on the CLI command. So if I press enter here, as you can see, we have a listing of the feature flags. We have the name of the feature flag, the type, and the state. And for the type, we have here under brackets the currently used storage. So that's it. I think it's good for me. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, Boris. Yeah, the feature flags are cool. The changes you've made to the feature flags are really great. I like how we can change the storage and we can see the changes directly in back office. I'm sure we can find a better way of showing the storage, or just as Jonathan suggested, to not to block entire row, only to have the toggle button disabled. That could be a nice improvement to the feature, to the UI. But it's a great start, and I can't wait to see it in the core. Is it much already in V9, or is it still a work in progress?
It's still work in progress, but it's pretty done, in fact. And maybe effectively the design can be changed. We are not sure about this for now, but it can be cool like that, but not really readable. So maybe we use the table, maybe.
All right. Okay. Nice. Those are really great improvements that you've shown us. So there are some few interesting questions. There is one message or suggestion from Lawrence that it would be great to have improved pricing for the cart rules. Yeah, like cart rules. When it comes to the pricing, I think the project is still in the discovery phase, so we didn't really start to code that much. So it's still work in progress when it comes to actually projecting the structure of the new pricing system and so on. And there's a question from Lawrence whether the new front office container will not slow down the front office. In my opinion, it shouldn't. But if I recall correctly, the plan is to implement it behind the feature flag already, so people can choose whether to use a Symfony container in front office or not. Do you have anything to say to answer to Lawrence, Boris?
Not really. Just for discussion, we are still had some metrics for this thing, so we made some tests already, so we can find out if it's really slowing down the front office. But yeah.
Yeah, we have a message from Fabien that basically the code base is being cleared to use more dependency injection just to have compile times quicker, better compile times. There are two great messages from Jonathan and Lawrence, basically saying that this was the great presentation. I agree. I fully agree. It was great to have you, Boris. And I hope to have more developers from the core team presenting to us new features that are coming to V9 and beyond V9. So maybe let's wait a moment to see if there are any more questions. It's a question and answers time, so maybe let's wait a bit. So does anybody have any questions?
Oh, thanks.
Joe is here. Yeah, we need to invite Joe to say a few things more about what's coming to PrestaShop as well, especially about the Symfony layout project, which is quite big and complicated. It would be great to have some insights on it. Well, but I don't see any questions. Maybe if there are any, you can always use the form that we always share during the live update announcements. I will share the link right now so you can use it later. Let me find it. All right. So there's a form to ask questions for the next live update. Okay, there's a question about the roadmap and how we could be informed about the changes that are coming to the roadmap. Fabien, do you think you can answer the question? Can I invite you back? Okay, I don't see Fabien anymore, so maybe he's not available. I'm pretty sure that we will be communicating about ongoing changes and ongoing plans to the V9 during the live updates, during some office hours or other channel of communication. So yeah. Remember that the roadmap is not set in stone. Those are only the plans. So yeah, something may change in the future. Yes, Fabien. It was about Fabien from the product team, not from the developer team. Yes. Yeah, Jonathan is unsure whether there's an epic or something like that. Well, the roadmap right now, the plan for V9 is now behind the closed doors, if I recall correctly. But we do plan to share the news regularly. Eventually, it's about the projects that are sponsored by the company, that are provided by the core team. So something may change. The things that are 100% sure are that we are going to upgrade the code base to meet the PHP 8.1 standards, that we are going to upgrade dependencies and so on and so forth. There is a workaround API that is going to that is happening right now, and there are some other subjects that are still in the discovery phase. So they are definitely not set in stone. Yes, when it comes to the feature phrase, basically what we agreed on is that we do releases in the try and release manner. So basically, whether the feature is finished or not, we keep the feature freeze. And if we implement new features, they are going under the feature flag. So this way, we can still release the software and put the new feature under the feature flag. This is what happened in the product with the product page. This is what happened with the new image format generation system, and so on and so forth. There's a message from Malfree developer that with all these intermediate changes, it becomes a problem to keep 50 and more modules I developed updated because I don't know whether to update them directly for PrestaShop 9 or 8. As somebody who created quite a lot of modules, I can tell you that upgrading to V8 shouldn't be that hard. You can migrate your solutions to V8 just by replacing some of the code that you and functions that you used in the previous versions of PrestaShop, like tools, JSON decode or JSON encode, and so on and so forth. Plus, you have to provide the compatibility with PHP 8.1. But that's not only relevant for PrestaShop 8, it's also relevant for PrestaShop 9. There may be some more work to do in PrestaShop 9, but in order to be more up to date with the new tooling we have, with the most recent PHP versions, with the new Symfony version, and so on and so forth, we need to speed up. We need to speed up things a bit. We need to be more robust in the changes we've made. So basically, yeah, there may be more work for the developers, but in general, it should. I believe you should be happy with all those changes eventually, because they should reduce your time to market. They should reduce the work that you need to put to create the modules and so on. But I agree. With all the new major versions, updating becomes a problem. It's harder, but this is not something that we can stop. Maybe in the future, after we stabilize a bit, after we will be compatible with the recent PHP version, with the recent Symfony version, there will be more minor versions and less major versions, but hard to say right now. For sure, at the moment, we need to catch up with all the tooling and basically to try to let modern developers also use PrestaShop. Let Symfony developers be more interested to PrestaShop, and so on and so forth. But if you are interested in discussing the problem of making your modules compatible with more versions of PrestaShop, let's maybe let's maybe chat on Slack or open GitHub discussion. There are some strategies that you can follow to make your module compatible with a few versions at once. You can use adapter pattern. You can use all these strategies that will make your work easier if you happen to work with a few versions of PrestaShop. All right. I don't see any more questions. Remember, everyone, that we do have GitHub discussions. We do have Slack channel. We meet regularly here on live updates. So if you have any questions, whether they are related to module development, theme development, PrestaShop features, and so on, you can always ask them. So basically, we are here for you. We are here to help you. And we will try to answer all the questions either submitted by form or on the Slack. So thank you again, Boris. Thank you again, Hiba. Thank you again, Fabien. It was a great live update, and I hope to see you all next month. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.